A very good evening. This is the Pngtv Live News Bulletin. I'm Belinda Cora. As if the earthquake destruction was not enough, police in Southern Highlands Province were working around the clock today to confirm who were responsible for the burning down of classrooms at the Yalibu Secondary School yesterday afternoon. Images of the fires were uploaded on Facebook since this morning, but no proper confirmation of details could be sought by police. Pngtv Live managed to confirm that investigations by police kick-started this morning, but no report was forthcoming by this afternoon. Provincial Police Commander for Southern Highlands Province, Joseph Tondop, could not be reached for comment. The Auditor General Philip Nauga is now in police custody at the Boroko police cell after he was charged on 3 counts of alleged corruption, which includes conspiracy to defraud the state and misappropriation of 250,000 kina belonging to 2 districts. Mr. Nauga will appear tomorrow for mention at the Waigani Committal Court. Quentin Anaime with this update.
Auditor General Nauga was brought into the Boroko police station after he was questioned at the Konedobu headquarters fraud office yesterday. NCD Superintendent Operations Michael Tilai confirmed today that Nauga was alleged to have committed 3 offences and was charged accordingly on 3 counts.
He was alleged to have committed 3 offences. So he was charged accordingly on 3 counts. He is still kept in police custody awaiting his appearance tomorrow for mention at Grade 5 in Waigani.
Tilai says the Auditor General was refused bail until he appears for mention tomorrow. The court will decide on whether to grant him bail. Quintina Naime, Pngtv Live.
Meanwhile, suspects from Mahuru village in the nation's capital allegedly involved in the murder of a man from Wabeg on the weekend have been identified by NCD police. The incident happened on Sunday morning when a mechanic from Wabeg and his companions were assaulted by a group of drunkards at Mahuru. Quentin Anaime with this update.
The fight broke out during an encounter between the men from Wabeg and the drunkards, which resulted in 1 dead and another hospitalized. The man hospitalized is from Mahuru and is now in critical condition at the Port Moresby General Hospital. Police report that the mechanic entered Mahuru to drop off the vehicle for his female customer from the village when the incident happened. As a result, one of the relatives of the mechanic was seriously injured and later died, and his body taken to the Port Moresby General Hospital. The next day, the villagers set up a roadblock on the main highway, which was later removed by police. NCD Superintendent Operations Michael Tilai says the situation is now calm after he met with the villagers on Monday to take control of the situation. Tilai tells Pngtv Live the crime report has been submitted and investigations are now on foot. 2 mediation groups have been set up from both parties that include a pastor, village magistrate, peace officer and women's representative. Tilai says from the mediations they aim to find a solution as to how best they can resolve this issue while police investigations are ongoing.
This is to make sure that there will be no tensions existing between. The Wabegs will not come to Mahuru village. The Mahuru village will have to assist the police investigations into apprehending and bringing those culprits who actually involved in the initial murder of that Wabeg man to police so that we can process them and then lay charges when necessary.
The relatives of the deceased have also been urged to assist police in bringing the suspects who accompanied the mechanic and the deceased to Mahuru to provide statements.
The situation has been very tense, but now it's gone down. But we just need to manage so that no effects, no side effects, no more follow-up actions from the initial issue that we started.
Quintina Naime, Pngtv Live.
Outspoken member for Medang, Brian Kramer, is now setting his sights on the governor for NCD Powers Parkop regarding the yoga fiasco involving a leaked video that pointed out 250,000 kina a month being paid to NCDC to Fazila Bazira Baziri, the Malaysian yoga instructor currently running the Yoga for Life program in Port Moresby. Kremer says as a national member of parliament, he is obligated to debate issues of national interest, and the money spent by governor, which totals to 3 million kina a year, didn't come from NCD alone but from the consolidated revenue, and therefore the legality of the arrangement should be verified. Kaligan Tanda with this update.
Any country in the world where they pay someone $250,000 to conduct yoga.
Madang MP Brian Kremer has made comments in light of the leaked video that went viral on social media that featured former NCD city manager Leslie Alu highlighting the awarding of a contract of 250,000 kina per month to Fazila Bazari to run a yoga program in the nation's capital to a total value of 3 million kina for a year. Kremer, in pointing out Governor Paus Pakop's backing of the yoga program, questions whether due process was followed in the awarding of the contract.
The good governor has come out and said that this entire contract is legal. I want to make this very clear as occupying office or public office that the Public Management Finance Act requires any expenditure, even of one toya, has to comply with that act. And that requires that any significant contract must go to tender. And that means it must be publicly advertised. So if he was awarding a contract of 250,000 a month or 3 million, then we should have seen an advertisement in the paper in relation to a contract.
The Madang MP further inquires whether there is a conflict of interest involved. Kremer illustrated his own case where under the District Development Authority Act, he, as a member of the Madang DDA, is required to declare any interest, direct or indirect, in relation to any submission made to the body. He says members of parliament could not deliberate on the approval of submissions and had to exclude themselves during the deliberation if there was a conflict of interest.
So the question I want to ask the good governor is in relation to who was the process in awarding that contract. Did he chair that meeting? And if he did, then the question is, did he declare his interest? And did he exclude himself in relation to awarding that contract? And if not, then that contract, it becomes a question of whether it is illegal.
Kremer states that he is giving Governor Pakop 14 days to present a report on how the funds of the yoga program were used before he takes it upon himself to make details of the deal public.
I'm not going to call for an investigation because it'll go nowhere. So I'll give him time to present a report and make public that report to show what that 3 million kina was spent on. In 250,000 a month, how was that 250,000 spent? And after which, if he fails to do that, I don't want to call for an investigation. I will invoke provisions under the Constitution to go after the information. And so I want to see personally how that funds were spent, and then I'll make it public.
Kremer says there are many activities around the country involving sports, youth, and even churches that don't get paid 250,000 kina a month or 3 million kina for a year. He remains adamant to bring the matter up on the floor of Parliament in the next sitting.
This issue is not going away. That he can be guaranteed. So I'm waiting for next session of Parliament, and the question we put to him on the floor, hopefully he attends, and this country needs answers.
Kaligan Tanda, Pngtv Live.
NCD is currently dealing with 6,000 new cases of TB, which should not only be the worry for health authorities, but for ordinary Papua New Guineans living in the growing capital. Experts say the illness is now affecting 15 to 45-year-olds who are in their very productive stages of life. Director for NCD Public Health, Dr. Nico Watai, tells Pngtv Live that more and more patients are being noted to have gone off the treatment due to various reasons, and this is why statistics aren't improving. There may be different types of TB, but the most common, which is putting more people at risk, is TB in the lungs, which can be spread through the air we breathe on a day-to-day basis. Those who are on treatment must be able to finish off successfully. If not, they become resistant, which takes close to 20 months to treat again.
No, there are a lot of courses, transport. Coming to the clinic is a major issue because people need money to catch a PNV to come to the clinic. Other cases sometimes also maybe the patient may be too sick to come to the clinic, they don't turn up. Sometimes too, on our part as health workers, sometimes we are late sometimes to open our clinics. This happens sometimes.
TB is an illness caused by a germ that is breathed into the lungs. Anyone can get TB, and that's the message health authorities keep stressing. It is now also trying to track down patients who have left medication.
Making sure that tracking them because it takes a long time. Multi-drug resistant TB takes about 20 months to treat. It's a long time to follow such patients. So it's a big challenge for us.
Medication and treatment is free in NCD and is available at 14 NCD health clinics.
I really appeal to your viewers and to the community. If you have been coughing for 2 or more weeks, you should come to your nearest clinic, and you can be tested. If you have TB, you can be put on treatment and you can be successfully treated.
You're watching Pngtv Live News Bulletin. More after these messages. Welcome back. You're watching Pngtv Live News Bulletin. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill has called on Papua New Guineans to be generous and sacrifice for the good of our communities this Easter. O'Neill says this is a time of the year to reflect on these values for the good of our communities and loved ones. Gregory Avira with this report.
Palm Sunday 3 days ago marked the start of the Holy Week, leading up to Easter Sunday this weekend. The Prime Minister says it is a time to reflect and to show generosity towards others. O'Neill says since last month's earthquake, we have seen sacrifice from our people. Emergency services personnel, disaster response workers, government officials, workers from the private sector, and people from churches and NGOs have been working tirelessly. The Prime Minister says together they are doing everything they can to restore normalcy to the lives of those in the disaster zone and to rebuild towns and villages. He adds there is a lot of work to do in the coming months and years as the nation recovers from this disaster. He says it is a time to also remember Papua New Guineans who died as a result of the earthquake and the hardships that has been imposed on the survivors. Gregory Avira, Pngtv Live.
A special Easter police operations in Lae will be on this weekend. Lae Police Boss Anthony Wagambi Jr. says general policing and drunk patrols will be conducted to ensure that the Easter long weekend is celebrated peacefully. Florida Gulaseni with this report.
Wagambi urged the people of Lae to observe why Easter is celebrated and understand its true meaning. He added that it is a time celebrated on the Christian calendar, and it is a time to attend church and focus on your religious beliefs. Police will be deployed in all parts of the city to ensure that people move about freely, and he urged the public to respect others in ways of cutting down on noise pollution and drunkard behavior. Wagambi also warned the general public, especially private citizens and businesses, to be alert and take necessary precautions when moving about from criminals planning to make quick money through robberies. The public is urged to contact police on the toll-free number 70903300 if there is any sign of trouble about to happen or is happening. Florida Gulaseni, Pngtv Live.
Provincial Police Commander for Oro Province, Lincoln Gerari, has been suspended following serious allegations of sorcery-related violence and murder. According to information from the police headquarters today, the PPC was said to have apprehended 2 men from his home village upon the belief that they were behind a swollen feet through the act of sorcery. The 2 men were taken on a boat from the village to the town area and were reported to have been beaten up on the way. One was pronounced dead on arrival, while the other is now in hospital nursing serious injuries. Deputy Police Commissioner Jim Andrews says such acts, especially by a senior police officer, are uncalled for, and this case is not taken lightly. Director for Crimes, Internal Affairs Unit and police investigators are now in Popondetta to investigate and to collect evidence before a charge can be laid against the PPC. The PPC is on suspension for 21 days. The United Nations in Papua New Guinea has mobilized an additional $9.2 million or 13 million kina from the UN Central Emergency Response Fund for the Highlands earthquake disaster in the country. These funds will enable life-saving assistance to more than 144,000 people in the two most affected provinces of Hela and Southern Highlands following the 7.5 magnitude earthquake that struck PNG on the 26th of February. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill acknowledged the support of the UN in his address to the special parliamentary sitting on the earthquake response yesterday. He says, and I quote, "We have enlisted the support of United Nations. They have now brought in experience in managing relief efforts such as this, particularly in receiving support, delivery and distribution," unquote. These funds are in addition to the UN's emergency services and relief supplies already dispatched and a response coordination support provided to the government of Papua New Guinea since the onset of this disaster. You're watching Pngtv Live News Bulletin. More after these messages. You're watching Pngtv Live News Bulletin. Welcome back. The PNG Pukpuk Sevens has been pulled amongst top competitors for the World Rugby Series qualifier in Hong Kong. Coach Douglas Guys, while naming his 13-men side today, said they will be going up against finalists from the last 3 years, but they have prepared well. Gregory Avira with this report.
Be efficient in the little things we do, be clinical in the little
Coach
things.
Douglas Guys says preparations for the World Rugby Sevens Series qualifier has been one of the best compared to other tournaments in recent times. But the team will have a mammoth task, being placed amongst top sides.
We've got the 3 finalists from 2015 down to 17. We've got Zimbabwe, Germany from last year, as well as Hong Kong from 2016. So all these teams are well back. They're all good teams, and they know how to get to the final, and they will know how to fix up the mistakes to reach the circuit, to win the tournament. So we've got our work cut out for us. It's going to be a tough bull, but in saying that, we've got a bit of confidence, especially after Hamilton, Sydney and Hamilton. We've got a couple of good wins, and we're quietly confident that given the good bounce of the ball, as you know, in sevens, we should go deep into the tournament.
The 13-man side includes Henry Kalua, Eugene Tokavai, Joseph Moke, Ima Alu, Wesley Valley, Arthur Clement, Freddie Rover, Manu Guys, Dean Manale, Gairo Kapana, William Tirang, Ensley Peter and Patrick Tatut. One will be omitted before the squad leaves for the tournament. The Pukpuks will go up against Germany, host Hong Kong, and Zimbabwe in Pool F.
It's a good pool. It's a strong pool, probably one of, if not the strongest pool in the tournament. But like I said, we've prepared well.
Past appearances in international tournaments have seen the side picking up injuries. This is something the coach says they have tried to prevent for the duration of the tournament as he looks towards retaining his best side for the Commonwealth Games in April.
And having the boys here over the longer period of time is in the gym, with the work with the high performance guys there, I think, let me put it this way, if we finish off with 12 men on a Sunday 100%, we should be in a good chance of making the circuit, yeah.
The side departs next Monday for a 3-day event which starts on April 6th. The top finishing side will be promoted to take part in the World Sevens Series. Gregory Avira, Pngtv Live.
The 20-man SP Hunter squad was announced this week at the National Football Stadium, with the final 17 to be named before the captain's run on Saturday. SP Hunters coach Michael Marum says a lot of changes have been made with the inclusion of some new faces. Florida Gulaseni with this update.
With round 4 of the Interest Super Cup clash against Tweed-Head Seagulls set for this Sunday, the 1st of April, Edene Gabi has been named in the starting lineup on the wing in place of Wawa Paul. Marum says also on the other end is Charlie Simon, who also gets a call-up as halfback, with Watson Boas moving to the bench.
The bench but could be either Watson or Tobo. Off the bench, Watson probably can start Uka. Charlie is starting at halfback. So again, Watson has their weight in the ball, sorting out family matters, but they're back tomorrow. So, yeah, so yeah. And after last 2 performances, I had good word with us and Watson too, so guiding their game.
Adam Korave returns after sitting out last weekend due to concussion and will start as prop.
Adam, starting front rower, he plays middle, so it's no easy with that. So Redley did a good job last weekend in the middle there, so you can't change him. He made 37 tackles or 2 other minutes. So,
Coach Marum says the switching of the players for this coming match was basically due to the last 2 matches.
Falcons didn't they relied on their key players there. Riley Jacks, he was the one that controlled the game around. So our aim was to shut him off, and Ase failed to do that in defense. So he had a lot of time to run with the ball, turn those passes back in. So, and that's something we worked on. We played a game, similar game there. So we want to make sure we fix it up.
The Tweedhead Seagulls will arrive in Port Moresby on Saturday with their captain's run at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And on Sunday, the Cathan Racer will be the A-grade SP Port Moresby Rugby Football League fixture between Paga Panthers and Magani, followed by the main home game at the Oil Sedge Football Stadium. Florida Gulaseni, Pngtv Live.
And the final 15 PNG Peppers member team to take part in the Oceania regional qualifiers in New Zealand was announced over the weekend at the Sajongai Stadium by the national selectors. The event is set to take place from the 17th of April to the 21st to qualify for the Netball World Cup hosted by England in 2019. Florida Gulaseni with this update.
The core of the Peppers gold medal theme winning for the Mini Pacific Games in Vanuatu has been retained, while 4 players will be making their international debut for Papua New Guinea. The chair of the Netball PNG, Julian Leka, says the selection trials, which have been held over the past few months, have for the first time extended an invitation for Papua New Guinea players residing in Australia to attend. She added that the inclusion of the Australian-based players coming in has added a new dynamic to the way they play their games here, and it has really lifted the girls to another level. Leka says the final team is a mixture of some experienced players like Jacqueline Lahari, Tiata Baldwin, and Neri Adula, who will be leading the team of a few who are new to the national scene. Florida Gulaseni, Pngtv Live.
And that's the Pngtv Live News Bulletin at 7 p.m. More at 7 p.m. tomorrow. From myself and the news team, it's good night.